following show is a paid program.
Hey family, how you doing today? We are talking with all this week legends of R&B. The first up, Michael Cooper of Con-Funk-Shun. Hello, my friend. How you doing?
Hey, all right, man. Hanging in here, doing good out here in California.
I'm telling you, you are heading up the legends of R&B this week.
Oh, hey, cool. That'll work.
Michael Cooper of Con-Funk-Shun. How did you get started?
You got all day? No,
Yes.
it's fairly simple, man. We, I started a little group called Project Soul back in high school with the help of my friend Lewis McCall and Carl Fuller, and we sat down and we played the senior breakfast and the senior high school dances and the after game balls and all that as a 4-piece. And as we went along, we brought in members and we hung around the Vallejo, California area as Project Soul and doing the different area bases and things like that. And we finally started getting horns, and that's when things got serious. Yeah, we got real serious. We started to be really competitive, really sought after. And, Project Soul was on the way. It wasn't until we got the job backing up a group called Soul Children that we went to Memphis, Tennessee, and tried our hand at recording. And the gentleman there told us that we're going to change that name. So the name changed. Then we got into the whole name change things. And that, my friend, is a story in itself. In sheriff department. So a lot of times when you're on the mic, you have to break and let give the other person a chance to talk, because I'll be talking a long time trying to tell you how we got this name.
Well, everybody loves that. They want to know how Con-Funk-Shun came about. The name in itself, that was the first thing everybody has asked me, my friend. They always want to know about that. And then we'll go through some of the songs and how they came about. But the name itself, how did it come about?
The name, well, after we got to Memphis as Project Soul, and we began the clubs, and it was just too generic, kind of a simplistic name. A gentleman by the name of Ted Sturgis owned a studio, and we recorded in there a little bit. And he said, "You guys are not going to make it with this name. You need to change it." So as very, very young guys, I want to rewind just a minute. We remembered playing at a Unity Festival in California prior to going to Memphis, to open the show for New Birth and The Main Ingredient. The Main Ingredient and New Birth, of course, are recording artists with RCA, but their backup band was also a recording artist with RCA, and the name of that band was called Nightlighters. And the Knights were rehearsing at the pool that afternoon, just the horns, and they were playing a riff where they would play the riff and then they would chant, and then they'd play the riff. So the riff was like, da 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 da, hey, da 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 da, all right, that kind of a thing. Right. And we thought it was just, we were young guys, 16, 17 years old. We were like, dang, that is the baddest. That is so cool. Later on that night, prior to the Main Ingredient coming out, they opened up and they played a couple of songs. And they said, we're going to play the B-side of our latest hit. And they said, and we're going to spell it out for you so you understand where we're coming from. The name of this song is Con-Funk-Shun, Con-Funk-Shun. And they played the song. And now we could hear the bass, the sax solo, the guitars, everything, the drums. We heard the whole song. And at that point, fast forward to us in Memphis being told we had to change our name. We sat around the campfire. And we just kind of, and I don't have to tell you what was going on. Wasn't no campfire. You understand me? We sat around drinking that wine.
Yes.
And somebody said, "Hey, you remember that song that the group called the Nightlighters played?" Everybody knew Con-Funk-Shun. They said, "Yeah. What about that?" unanimous. We went to the club that weekend and told the guy, change the marquee, put our name up as Con-Funk-Shun. They thought we were crazy. It was a little rough for the first couple of weeks playing at the club. We had a weekly at the club.
Right.
But after it caught on, and the way we dress and the way we sound,
right,
it hit like it exploded all over Memphis. So.
Well, I tell you, everybody remembers some of the pictures or so. Let's show some of the pictures of them. Let's do a little pictures. Let's see. I mean, always got your style together. Look at that. Just always. How did the styles come out? The colors, just you all being in unison.
Well, as you can see now, as the pictures go by, Con-Funk-Shun has always wanted to dress uniformly.
Yes.
Now, you'll see some pictures there where we're dressed individual for album covers, right, but the rest of them are promo shots, and the promo shots were there for uniformity. We always wanted to identify as a group. Wasn't a whole lot of individuality, maybe in a collar or a vest or something like that, but we always tried to make sure that people knew we were a group and we're together.
Absolutely, and always the same. You always look great, always had the style. And I think back in the day at that point, a lot different than it is now, it's always together, You don't see that like that anymore.
And then now, I really kind of like cracked the whip on the whole individuality thing when we started becoming, there was two Con-Funk-Shuns. There's Con-Funk-Shun of today and a Con-Funk-Shun of then that started everything going. Mm-hmm. And we always dressed in uniformity back then. Yes. We always had a tailor making our uniforms, and mm-hmm. they were a little different individually, but the color was always the same.
Right.
Fast forward to now meaning say 23 years ago, mm-hmm. Con-Funk-Shun now has been up and at 'em for almost 25 years.
Wow.
So we've got a long way with the second version of Con-Funk-Shun. And in the beginning, I allowed a few people to express themselves. Mm-hmm, right. And that got out of hand. That got real out of hand. Way out. People coming in dashikis, people coming in hoodies and
right.
the way, whatever they felt that their expression was, that's how they came to the stage.
Right.
And I'd say that lasted about a year. I said no more.
Yeah.
So we began to dress.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I like that. Most people are expecting that from you. What have you learned along the way? That'll take all day.
Let's see. I learned along the way.
Yeah.
Well, I've learned a lot about human nature.
Yeah.
I've learned that people, it's very bad to judge a person by what they have on, mm-hmm. How they talk. Mm-hmm. Some of the smartest people ever met in my life spoke pure Ebonics. Mm. I mean, their diction was taking you way. If you listen to them, never hear what they're saying. So as a young man, I learned early on as a group leader that you're going to run into guys with Southern accents. You're going to run into guys with a New York accent. You're going to run into a guy that's just not very educated in the English language, but he's high on wisdom and high on knowledge of the game. Mm-hmm. So listen to someone, and I've learned that you listen to understand. Some people listen to reply, which means you're going to wait for somebody to stop talking and you're going to say whatever you want to say anyway. And then some people listen to understand. And when I got involved in the sheriff's office and the training there, you listen to understand. A lot of these cops, that's why we got so many bad cops are out there today, because they listen to reply. They already made up their mind that everything out of their mouth is right, out of your mouth is wrong. And so when you stop talking, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do or what I'm going to say or what's going to happen to you. I'm not going to take into what you're saying, because you're obviously in a bad situation right now, and you can't be possibly telling the truth or tell me anything that I don't know already. And that's what some people listen to understand. Some people listen to reply. When you listen to understand, you learn. Mm-hmm. It goes from music, police work, baking, sports, good coaches have to sometimes listen. They can't just force everything. If a coach is not willing to learn from the person he's coaching, then that means that you know nothing. Well, okay, if you're paying a guy $10 million a year and you got to listen to him, at least $20 million a year,
right?
Go ahead and listen to him.
Right, exactly, exactly.
Yeah, so, my whole thing, man, I learned, that's kind of what I learned, is to use these and not so much this. Now, you wouldn't know that because I talk so much, but, I like to listen and take it in.
I love that. Since we know that it's a music business and we're talking to legends all this week about music, many people with COVID, that are in the COVID era now that we're in, the world has stopped. Concerts were, cut off, no more concerts. A lot of the venues have closed or they're under, capacity, down at 25% or maybe 50, if so. And a lot of people, just the music in itself, and it's a business. I think many people don't understand that part. 10% music, 90% business,
Well, absolutely. Especially, and you got your two sides too. You've got where we came up in the 70s and 80s. No cell phones, no internet, and none of that. So business, when you had a time to conduct business, it was taken a lot more seriously because you didn't know when you was going to have another chance to meet with somebody.
Right.
If you weren't home to answer the phone, you probably didn't get the gig. So it's kind of one of those things. U.S. mail was top dog back then. Telephone was top dog back now. The internet, social media, you have a thought, you can actually let the world know what you're thinking instantaneously.
Right.
So that's, it's easier now to be in the music business because we got our studios at home. We've got a guitar in every room. We've got the internet. We've got a tuner in our phone. We've got a studio in our phone. It's just easier to be in the business, consider home and proclaim a record company and actually get distributed by CD Baby. And now you're a company. If you can get on Amazon and get on iTunes, you in there.
Right. So
it's a lot easier now. Now it's harder now to turn music into money.
Whoa. That's it. See, that's the key. That's the key right there.
The idea is to connect the dots. Because you got a badass song, and I mean it's a hit. Not a hit in your own mind, but it's literally a hit. Okay. Oh, are we still there?
Yep.
We're still there.
I see you.
Oh, we froze for a second. But you got a hit record. It's one thing for it to be a hit. It's a whole nother thing for other people to think, it's a hit. And it's a whole nother thing if they're going to buy it. They're going to pay $1.99 for that one record, or they're going to pay $10.99 for the whole. No more record stores.
None.
Okay. Especially record stores for vinyl, and there's specialty stores here and there. I think the last ones out there was Rasputin. But there's no more Tower Records. There's no more mom and pop record stores and stuff like that. More records.
Right.
There's no more cassettes. CDs are almost but gone. New cars don't even have CD players in them.
Right. They don't.
Yeah. So it's all, it's a big pounding thing against us, man. Especially the older cats like us.
Right.
We say, I'm going to cut a new album. Really? I'm going to drop this record.
Right.
Really? Okay, look, 20-year-olds looking at you like, what about?
Because they haven't seen it. They really haven't seen it.
I'm gonna drop this record. Listen, no. Okay, now they're saying, when are you gonna release some new music?
Right.
Now we're talking. Okay, I'll release some new music. Con-Funk-Shun did it in 2015, 2016. We did a CD called More Than Love. One of the greatest pieces we've ever done since the Love Shine and To the Max days. Some of the great, literally convened to record. We did a lot of recording individually. but we convened in certain studios and things like that. We actually played some tracks live. So we actually did a great record.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Us and the record company we finally got with, it was like pulling teeth. We couldn't get with a Warner Brothers or Sony or
Mercury.
None of that. No, we couldn't get with those guys. Because y'all, first of all, we ain't trying to hear nothing from y'all because y'all over 60.
Right.
That's number one. Your name ain't Bruno Mars, Robin Thicke, or Justin Timberlake. We ain't got nothing to say to y'all.
Right.
Or Charlie Wilson.
Exactly.
The only person that can stick his foot in today's market as an old school artist.
Yeah.
It looks like it's still that way till today.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie Wilson's constantly keeping a hit record out there.
He is. He really is.
Okay. What we inspired to be with More Than Love is to be the Charlie Wilson of the groups.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, what did we do? We went to one of Charlie Wilson's producers, paid the money, and got us a hit record.
Right.
And the name of that record, I don't know if people know watching the show, but it was called Your Night. And it got to number 22 on the charts. Mm-hmm. Did we get one phone call because of that record? No. Every phone call came in for come play a date was for Love Train.
I was just going to say it.
Shake the Dance, Chase Me. That's all they made sure is Michael Cooper going to be there. Is Felton going to be there?
Yes.
You know, and that's it. We don't care about no Your Night. I heard that on the radio. That's bad. That's a nice tune, but you're going to play Love Train.
And just to shout it out, Felton Pilot, he'll be here on Wednesday. He's going to interview on Wednesday. So he's one of the legends. And everybody, I'm glad you mentioned Love Train. They have been asking, how did that song come about?
Wow, he's in the interviews because it's such a story. I haven't learned how to edit this story properly, so I'll set it up like this. Okay. Love Train, Felton and myself predominantly wrote all the hit music for Con-Funk-Shun. Mm-hmm. That's just the truth. I mean, yes. And generally, as a rule, Felton's he's big keyboardist and sequences, and he would write the music. And of course, he'd have his own set of lyrics, but he would always give me a copy of the music because he would want to make sure that all bases were. So when you listen to, say, Chase Me, that's my melody and lyrics and Felton's music. Mm-hmm. You listen to Got to Be Enough, that's Felton's music and my melody and lyrics, right? So, and that was kind of we were a tag team like that. It was just great. It worked great.
Right.
And I got a couple in there on my own. I got Fun, Shake and Dance, where I wrote everything. But for the most part, we were a writing team.
Right.
Well, along comes girl while we're in the studio. And women, and I don't even know how to set this up other than just tell what it is. I mean, she was drop dead gorgeous, beautiful, long black hair. As a matter of fact, Miss Got the Body was written about her too. But she was just beautiful. And she came in the studio and immediately, you got your game. Yes. I got my game.
Yes.
Everybody got the game they're going to play to get somebody. Yes. Right? Or have somebody pursue them.
Right. Absolutely.
So her game, she was very, very young. We were probably at least 8-9 years older than her. But she had a very old soul. And she came in and she really played this thing up to where she was so mothering and so taking care of everybody, right? So it's just a matter of which guy was just going to just say, okay, I'm coming after you. And of course, that was Felton. So they begin to see each other, I guess. This is stuff that I don't know too much about, but I guess they went out for coffee and did some things. All the while, she wanted to get with me, but I'm busy. I'm the group head. I'm in the studio. I got things to do. I'm not trying to have a relationship mixed in with all this, and which annoyed her. So she went ahead. Her and Felton got together, and the next thing you know, she made it clear to me that I want to have a relationship with you, but I'm stuck over here. And the lyrics of Love Train, Felton had given me a track. And the lyrics of Love Train came out of this right here. One night, she had a gated security apartment. I went to a phone booth about 1 o'clock in the morning, because that's the way things were in those days. You know, you're my girlfriend, I'm going to drop by at 1 o'clock in the morning. Don't ask me how. I don't know why a woman would allow a guy to drop by anyway. I come by at 1 o'clock in the morning. I get on the phone. I call up. I say, hey, buzz me in. I'm coming up. Well, I don't think so. No, go ahead. See, I'm downstairs. Buzz me in. Well, no, I don't think you can come up now. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Right?
Uh-oh.
So now I'm starting to put two and two together.
Right.
And I said, well, look, I'm not mad. But I said, if by chance let me just come up, we can talk this thing out. Now, what brother from the street uses the
We're going to talk this
line,
out.
uses the line, if by chance?
Yes.
What kind of
Yes.
Yes. That's Dennis Menace, Wally Cleaver, man. You don't say if by chance.
Yes.
Because I was hurt.
Yes. Yes.
Hurt, so weird stuff was coming out of my mouth. So anyway, fast forward, she didn't let me up. You know, I go home, tears running down my face and everything. I go to bed. I wake up the next morning. I'm like really, really mad, right? And then all of a sudden I remembered, dang, you said something stupid last night. You asked her if by chance she would left, and all of a sudden the wheels start turning. That I had this piece of music, right? I thought for a second, wait a minute. So I go in the studio in my house and I play this track, and the track just told me what to write.
Wow.
And the first thing I wrote was the bridge. If chance you let me just come over, because I'm down. And I told myself, just say I'm down on the street. I want to see you.
Right.
And then the juices just start flowing from there, right? And it wasn't. And then I went back again. And I asked myself, well, what happened? Okay, you were at home in your bed and decided to get up and go see your girl. So all night I can't sleep. Right? Got to call her up.
Right.
Dial that number. No one answers till 2 o'clock. Well, I was dialing the number. I wasn't dialing it from home. I was dialing it from the payphone down at the apartment building.
Right.
So I put everything together. And if you notice in Love Train, there's not a lot of rhyming. There's some rhymes, but after you rhyme once or twice, you go into conversation mode, and that's where you get some of your biggest hit records, where you just go into conversation. You know, as they used to say about David Ruffin. He couldn't sing, but he could cry in tune.
He could. Hold that thought. Hang on for a moment, Michael. Hold that thought, and we'll be right back on The Cam Hill Show.
We'll be right back to The Cam Hill Show after these messages.
During the season's best sales event, Ron Carter Cadillac delivers 0% APR for 72 months plus $2,500 bonus cash on all 2020 XT4, XT5, and XT6. Or drive 2020 XT4 Luxury Collection only $299 a month. 2020 XT5 Premium Luxury Collection just $369 a month. And first ever 2020 XT6 Premium Luxury Collection just $399 a month. All for 39-month lease with just $1 down.
RonCarterCadillac.com.
I'm attorney Willie Powles. Allow me to express myself with you. If you've been hurt or injured in a car or truck accident, give me a call and we'll get it fixed today.
When it comes to protecting yourself and your partners, all the information out there can be overwhelming. Visit our website. We are a free and confidential service striving to help you stay informed and stay notified. We are committed to a healthy Houston.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, truck accident, car accident? Was someone texting and ran into the back of you, not paying attention? It doesn't matter what it is. Give me a call, attorney Willie Powles. We'll fix it today. The number is 281-881-2457. Again, that number is 281-881-2457. We'll fix it today. Call attorney Willie Powles.
And now back to the Cam Hill Show.
Hey, thank you so much for coming back, Michael Cooper of Con-Funk-Shun. Hey, my friend, a lot of people on the line. I say they
All
love
right.
you, love you, love you. Shout out to beautiful Queen Grace Holden, one of my executive producer, Diana Patterson. Shout out to her. Juanita Armstead. Shout out to you, Queen. They want to just say, hey, what's up? DJ Michael Whitfield is on there too, looking at you. A bunch of people, man. They love you, buddy.
Hey, I'm good to be loved. Thank you, guys.
I love that. We were just picking up just a minute ago about Love Train. They love that song.
Man, that song, Love Train was never a single.
Yeah.
Love Train was on an album.
Mm-hmm.
I'm forgetting maybe To the Max or Touch 'Em. I'm getting all jambalaya here, all this music. But the album at the time did not yield a hit right away. And the record company was very smart. And they said, listen, we're going to leave that in the Love Train, because the radio station was starting what they call Card It Up, and play it in anticipation of it being a single, because they were getting so many calls for it. They played it one time, and so all the reps just got on the phones and said, listen, start carting up the cut Love Train, because it's coming. And they said, well, we already on that. Right. We already found it. Yeah, we'll cart it up. And so they said, well, 1 week goes by, another week goes by, another week goes, and we start steadily looking in the record, and we're not seeing anything as strong as what we're getting with Love Train. So they just let the doggone record play for like 9 weeks.
Yes.
So then we finally admitted that it was not coming as a single. The record company said, well, it's not coming as a single. Just go ahead and keep playing it. Well, that forced people to go buy the album.
Well, let me tell people, they can call in. Hey, you guys can call in and do a shout out to Mr. Michael Cooper. Say how much you love him. The number is below right there. Just shout out. Just give him a call. He's sitting here. He's waiting. He'll talk to you. Yeah. Ooh. So it's 346-874-7267. 346-874-7267. Do a shout out to him. He's sitting here. He's waiting. Another song you've got out, Dinner for Two. How did that come about? It's sexy.
Well, Dinner for Two, was Cooper's solo thing.
Wow.
That came out when I was signed. That was on my first Warner Brothers solo project.
Right.
And the big hit on that record was Prove My Love. And the second release on that record was Dinner for Two. And Prove My Love actually competed for the #1 spot along with Keith Sweat and Pebbles. So it was a big, at that time I was managed by Pebbles, and I had the same manager. So he had and of course he married Pebbles, so we know where he's going to get the money.
Yes.
The song was called Girlfriend, right? And Keith had, of course, and wasn't nobody going to box with Keith Sweat with, I Want Her or I Want Her. And let's see, what's Keith Sweat's the one hit? No, I think I got my artist mixed up here. What's Keith Sweat's big? Help me. What's Keith Sweat's big hit? The giant hit, the Monster.
Monster. Going on with that. Okay, there's a caller. See, there's a caller online. That's what they keep calling in, man. Hang on. Hey, how you doing? There's a caller online for Michael Cooper. Who we talking to?
This is Faith calling from Houston, Texas.
Hey, Miss Faith, how you doing? Houston.
I'm doing well.
Help us out, baby. What was Keith Sweat's big hit?
My favorite, of course, Michael Cooper, Con-Funk-Shun. You guys were my last concert that I saw right before COVID. You came to Houston in February, and my husband and I were there, and we just love y'all. We can't wait for you to come back.
Oh, cool. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that was a nice show. That the theater in the round with the stage spin around?
Yes, at the Arena Theater. Yeah. And so if you don't come back to Houston, we're going to find you whenever COVID allows us to move around. But I just wanted to say you are one of my favorites. Con-Funk-Shun's my favorites. And I have to tell you this because my husband's definitely not listening, that you, of course, was my high school crush. And I'm not trying to compete with Marion, but, let her know.
All right.
Thank you so much for the call. We appreciate you.
All right.
Thank you.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Bye-bye.
You too.
Bye-bye.
All right. Look at that. You were her high school crush there, brother.
Well, hey, I get that a lot.
Oh my God. In talking to new artists, your younger artists, especially now, and they're local or so, what would you tell them? What would be a little advice you would give to them trying to break into the music business and just trying to get their feet out there, trying to go from local to mainstream?
Man.
It's tough.
Now, the answer to that question, there is no answer to that question. There's pivotal opinions to that question. What worked in my time, some of that applies to today, but near all of it. A young artist today is exposed to, he doesn't get the exposure to live music like I did.
Yes.
When I told the story about the Nightlighters and we were exposed to Nightlighters, Tower Power, all the horn bands of the San Francisco Bay Area. So we lived, slept live music.
Well,
so that advice,
buddy, we've got it real quick. We got a caller. They keep calling. Hello, caller. How you doing? Welcome to the Cam Hill Show.
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good.
Let's say your name.
This is Stephanie Harris from Houston, Texas.
Hey, Miss Stephanie Harris from Houston, Texas.
Cam, you should make sure that family doesn't call in. You should announce that no family should be calling in. Okay, because they ruin your show because they know everything.
Stephanie Harris from Houston, Texas, your family.
So I just wanted to say to Michael that I thought Dinner for Two was probably one of his best songs, but I think my version is probably better.
Yes, your version is better. She actually got in her backyard microphone for my birthday and pantomimed Dinner for Two. And I must say, you would have made a very, very powerful artist, young lady. I'm gonna reach into this camera and grab her by the neck. This is one of my. I mean, I don't know how many years. 30 years now, friend. Yeah, and she's just calling in to pull my leg and to mess up your.
Yes, I am. Yeah.
She's a sweetheart.
So real callers can call in, Cam.
Yeah, let a real caller call in. Straight up family calling now.
We appreciate the call. Thank you so much, Miss Stephanie. Bye-bye. Love you. Bye-bye. Mr. Michael Cooper, you bringing him out, my friend?
Well, that's not fair because that one is literally almost a staff member. So, good. I guess next, Linda Lou and Steve Sullivan and all these other people. Felton will probably call in next.
There you go. They're looking. They're looking at you. They're looking at you, buddy. They're looking. They're taking notes.
Yeah.
They're taking notes. But you were giving a little advice beforehand, just talking to some of the artists.
The guys would have to. Right now, today's artists would two things. Of course, if you're playing an instrument and you're singing, that helps. If you're a bad singer, remember that you are one in a million. Mm-hmm. So there's got to be something unique about you. The fact that you can riff and turn the corners and throw your voice all over the place, and you're a legend in your own mind. You're bad. You can go up against anybody. I saw a guy stand up in the audience one time, make the mistake of challenging Charlie Wilson just because he could sing good. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't pretty.
Exactly.
It was not pretty. It was a very uncomfortable 5 minutes for him. So all I'm saying is that hone your craft, rehearse, play live if you can, If you actually get your hands on $1, plan it and come and bring it up too. So you just make sure you invest your money. Invest in a small home studio. Mm-hmm. Okay, invest in a small home studio and a tutor to help you get around. And give it some time. You're not going to just jump out there. Everybody can't be Justin Bieber. Everybody can't be overnight. Boom, I'm out there, because if you quick to rise is quick to fall. Mm-hmm. So just give it some time. Ain't no harm being a 25-year-old singer. A good example is, let me tell you something, guys. A good example, and I still cannot figure out what happened, of a person wanting to get into the business armed with every piece of ammunition you could be armed with, right? And the name of Jafar Jackson. You ever heard of Jafar Jackson? Jafar Jackson is Jermaine's son.
Right.
I have never in my life seen a person sound so much like Michael that it was unbelievable. It was just, you go online and you look up Jafar Jackson and listen to him. Close your eyes and listen to him, right? He put out a record called "You Got Me Singing." Lord have mercy. That is on my playlist, on my Alexa. It's in my car. The record did not hit in today's market. Wow. Right? Mm-hmm. But go listen to that record. That record is slamming. What advice could I give somebody to get in the music business? This man had everything going for him. The name, the talent, everything. The uncles, everything, right? And it still did not stick. Wow. So what I'm saying is, I can't tell you exactly how to get in the music business. I can tell you about tools. I can tell you about things that can happen. But you got to have some luck, and you got to be in the right place at the right time. And you don't need no COVID virus, right, to stand in your way. Because look at me, look at everybody play. We can't do nothing because this virus. So my advice for you to get going today, it would be a different advice a year ago, right? And it'll be different advice next year, because when everything opens back up, everybody wants to see everybody. Everybody want to go to a live concert. So now maybe it's going to be easier for you to put on a showcase and show your stuff, because everybody's going to be jumping on you. So, rehearse yourself. Make sure your craft is tight. Make sure your appearance is tight. Don't waste your money. Invest in a home studio, right? And read, get on the line and look at other people. Look and see what they're looking like. And find out and chat with people back and forth about what they did. And look up Jafar Jackson and ask yourself, who got all this going for him, and I may hear about it. Wow. So, okay, that means it's hard out there. Okay.
It is. It is. Let's do this. We'll take a break and we'll be right back with Mr. Michael Cooper.
We'll be right back to the Cam Hill Show after these messages.
During the season's best sales event, Ron Carter Cadillac delivers 0% APR for 72 months plus $2,500 bonus cash on all 2020 XT4, XT5, and XT6. Or drive 2020 XT4 Luxury Collection only $299 a month. 2020 XT5 Premium Luxury Collection just $369 a month. And first ever 2020 XT6 Premium Luxury Collection just $399 a month. All for 39-month lease with just $1 down.
RonCarterCadillac.com.
I'm attorney Willie Powles. Allow me to express myself with you. If you've been hurt or injured in a car or truck accident, give me a call and we'll get it fixed today.
When it comes to protecting yourself and your partners, all the information out there can be overwhelming. Visit our website. We are a free and confidential service striving to help you stay informed and stay notified. We are committed to a healthy Houston.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, truck accident, car accident? Was someone texting and ran into the back of you, not paying attention? It doesn't matter what it is. Give me a call, attorney Willie Powles. We'll fix it today. The number is 281-881-2457. Again, that number is 281-881-2457. We'll fix it today. Call attorney Willie Powell.
And now back to the Cam Hill Show.
Hey, thanks so much. We're back with Michael Cooper of Con-Funk-Shun. Hello, my friend. We were just talking about telling some artists what they should do, or just trying to, what they could do during COVID. But you're right. When this pandemic, when we're able to come out more, or we're able to come out, sooner, more people will come out and they want to be come to entertainment, and the entertainers want to be able to touch versus virtual.
Absolutely. And I we're going to see a surge in that once the first set of cities open up their limitations on amounts of people that can gather, and open up some of the venues and let some of the venues open up and do, things start to get back to normal. And it'll be some time. It won't be just because you got a shot in your arm, things are back to normal.
Right.
It'll take a while. So we could be well into 2022 before we actually are going to be able to go to a ball game, football game, basketball game, concert, like we used to. Probably still be wearing masks for a long time doing that. And I ain't got no problem with it. We just did a wonderful show at a place called the Pala Casino, which is an Indian reservation. And they had social distancing all set up. They had masks at the door. You didn't get in the casino without a mask and temperature check. But it was a great show. We wore our masks right up to the time we hit the first note. And the moment we hit the last note, we put our mask back on, left the stage. It was a great thing, but the hunger from the audience, they really, really, really wanted to just take in the live music, and that's something that we're very lucky that we're able to play today. And even some of the local bands playing around every city out there, you'll see their business will just skyrocket.
Really?
Because people, once the things open back up again, people will be so for it. They'll get out there and have a ball.
What I really love about you guys, and you guys have lasted so long in the industry. When you hear the name, when people hear your name and they just resonate with so many of your songs, just whichever, it could be Immediately Love Train, or, you know what I'm saying, just the different ones automatically, and they can sing each one, they can sing the lyrics the whole way, right? Why do you think you lasted so long?
Well, I think that there's a great many of us owe a lot of our lasting power to the media. As the media started to evolve, there for the old, rap came, and we were us old absolutely kind of hanging on, but we were getting moved to the side by rap and hip hop, right? And then the radio stations began to reprogram. All of a sudden, they start programming the old school again. They knew that some of them just couldn't sell the products and get the sponsorships instead, unless they go back to something that's going to capture people's listenership. And of course, that was the 70s and the 80s music. And when they did that, a lot of the 70s, 80s groups said, "Well, wait a minute, we either don't have to quit winning, or we need to hurry up and get back together."
Right.
Because just like now, just like with COVID, back then when they started playing the music again in the 90s, around in the early 90s, when they went back to the old music, man, we just took off like a rocket. We couldn't put Con-Funk-Shun back together quick enough. I was a solo artist for 6 years with Warner Brothers.
Right.
So I had 5 hit records right after Con-Funk-Shun slowed. And by the time I had my last hit, Con-Funk-Shun had started up again.
Wow.
So for me, it has never stopped. And we basically, our formula is to keep in our lane. When we stepped out of our lane, we got spanked. right? And I think it was an album called Burning Love, and every producer on the planet was given money to come in and make Con-Funk-Shun sound like everybody else.
Right.
It didn't work. You know, you got to have horns, and of course, the bridge of a song or a solo in a song or horns in a song went by the wayside when it came, because the horns were played on a keyboard, right? So there were no more horns in all these groups, right? The horn lines were replaced by keyboard line. So it wasn't a good thing. So what did I do? I just hooked up with Club Nouveau and got with Warner Brothers, and we just kept the sound going. We kept the vocal sound going, right? And now all of a sudden we got a bonus. It reopened. Radio stations started reprogramming back Fun, Love's Train, Got to Be Enough, Shake and Dance With Me, all that stuff started getting played again. I get a call from my manager as a solo artist. He says, listen, I'm getting a call for you guys to play New Year's Eve 1994 for Con-Funk-Shun. Well, you know, how am I going to do that? I say, well, I'll talk to Felton, and Felton was with Hammer. He was with MC Hammer. And I talked to Felton. I said, man, come up to my gig in Sacramento, and I'm playing Sacramento. Come up and come on stage and do a song. And the next morning we met. I said, man, what do you think about putting this thing back together and doing New year's Eve, just a one show? And he said, cool, fine, no problem.
Right.
And next thing I know, one show turned into 5, and 5 shows turned into 50, and here we are.
Exactly. Still today, I'm telling you. Man, as viewers are looking right now, what do you see? Con-Funk-Shun is still there, man. I mean, really. You say the name, young people that grew up in the households, you know, where their parents were turning on at one point Soul Train, you know, and things like that, because that was every Saturday. If we saw something, we see our friends. you know?
I mean, we're here, man. We're here. The guys are ready to go. We managed, I call them dress rehearsals. Yes. We managed to do a dress rehearsal here and there. I think coming up, we've got the NFL Alumni Festival in Tampa, Florida on the 30th of January. So we'll be doing that. And we'll do another pay-per-view around Valentine's Day in the city of, filmed in the city of Fairfield. We'll go out to the world. Right. So we're just keeping it going. To get these vaccinations and everybody get hooked up and get them to stay and continue to stay safe and let's not have any resurgence and bring it all back again and do things too quick and too early. And we'll be back, we'll be packing these coliseums, man, and packing these clubs and packing these dinner theaters and casinos before you know it.
I'm telling you, people are so antsy at this point. They really are. I mean, it's been, if you think about it, the end of February, beginning of March, you know, now it's December. You know what I mean? People have been in, you know, and they really have wanted to come out, of course, but of COVID. You know, that's what's been happening.
Right. And that's we've got such a year to push behind us, man, that it ain't funny. I mean, we're in the media, and we're in the music and the broadcast. We were affected. Right. Okay? Anybody that needed people to congregate, they were affected.
They were.
The NFL, it's good that they have the money they have, but they're being very careful. You know, Bill, look at the Oakland Raiders, man. Bill is one of the greatest Coliseum places to play in the world, and can't use it.
Right.
Can you imagine how much money is on the ground? People can't wait to get in that place.
Exactly.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. A stadium, you know, it's a spaceship.
Yeah, it is.
It doesn't leave. It's a spaceship. It doesn't leave. People can't wait to get in there. All that money laying on the ground, man. So we all been affected. So let's just do the right thing, man. We definitely gotta keep these masks on. Yeah, definitely gotta keep that up. I mean, that's the, you know, and we could talk all day long about how the mask is politicized and blah blah blah. But I'll just sum it up by saying it didn't work. Okay, it didn't work.
Right.
We got some people to educate now, and we got great educators.
Right.
And get ready to take office on the 20th of January, and let's get it done. Let's get it done.
Absolutely. What would you like to leave with the viewers? Last words.
Well, the first thing I'd like to do is I want to leave with a thank you.
Yeah.
I want to leave with a thank you for 47 years of supporting Con-Funk-Shun, no matter what the version, the original version of Lewis McCall, Danny Thomas, Cedric Martin, right? Carl Fuller, myself, Felton Pilot. I don't know what to say, man. We appreciate all of you guys that are of our age group that started out with us. And then you came along, you followed Cooper onto the Warner Brothers thing. And then you came back to the second Con-Funk-Shun with Eric E.Q. Young and Brian Collier and K.C. Clayton. And, you came back, Ron Moten out of Stockton. You guys came back. I want to say to everybody, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for supporting the music, and all you guys that put our music out and repeat it and share it. We love you for it, because it keeps us alive and well, and it keeps us going. And I'm sure if you talk to Blackman, you talk to all the guys out there, they love you for that. All the guys that are still live thing and still out rocking and rolling. I'm sure they'll say the same thing. Bobby Harris, Skip Martin, all these guys, Daz Band, SOS Band, they'll say the same thing, man. Thank you all from the bottom of our hearts for sticking with us and keeping us uplifted so that we can get out here and continue to play this music for you.
Absolutely. We appreciate you so much, Michael Cooper of Con-Funk-Shun. Thank God for you, first of all. Thank God for you just sticking in there with us as a people. Thank you to your wife for allowing you to be out here with us.
I get to use her Super Mac, man. You should see this.
Exactly.
This thing is huge.
Tell her thank you so much for just the opportunity of sharing you with us on the times when you travel and all. Tell her thank you so much, and all of your family. Happy holidays to you so much, my friend. We appreciate you. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts that you continue with it.
Oh, man, and Merry Christmas. Yes. Happy New Year to everybody, and let's stay safe. Let's get the music back up and running, and let's keep it on the Cam Hill Show, baby, because it can't go wrong. You can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong.
I love it, man. I love that. I love it. Love you, brother. Shout out to you. Take care. Bye-bye. Hey, on tomorrow we will have a Climax. Cheryl Cooper, she'll be here. Climax on tomorrow, 12:30, 1:30 Central Standard Time. See you. Bye.